Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Erin Pellard, and I'm your host today. We have a fantastic workshop this afternoon. It brings me great pleasure to welcome you all. On behalf of CEA, I will extend a warm welcome to you. I'm really honored by your presence. We are gathered here today to discuss about accelerate gender equality to enhance nuclear industry. Allow me briefly to give you an overview of today's program. We will begin with the statement of Mr. Storr, Director of Energy Division at CEA. We will proceed with questions to our distinguished panelists who are seated here. And after that, we will be like a Q&A session in the little room next door with the audience. What a program. I would like to start our events with an introduction of the Director of Energy Division at CEA, Mr. Philippe Storr. Philippe, it's your turn.
Thank you, Séverine. I'm very happy to be here with you today and to open this workshop. The topic of our workshop is a very pressing and significant issue that impacts all of us. It is about accelerating gender equality to enhance nuclear industry. I already would like to start with that and to express my strong conviction that gender equality can bring many benefits to our industry, also contributing to our sovereignty and economic power. I'm very pleased that there are a lot of women here in the audience. I would have loved to have seen more men, but still we have more than gender equality today. Let me first remind that gender equality is a principle of international laws recognized by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Nevertheless, the pace today toward it is very slow. According to UN Women, it would take almost 300 years to achieve true equality with the current pace. Today still, gender inequalities remain structural, systemic, and profoundly rooted in our world. Last year, the World Bank has adopted a gender strategy 2024-2030 to accelerate gender equality. This strategy states that gender equality is essential for world development. Indeed, there are more and more numerous evidence that are showing that removing gender barriers unlocks economic productivity. For instance, women participation and leadership make economy more competitive. And this is not a statement, it is just a matter of scientific facts. France has adopted this year a new strategy for feminist foreign policy for the next 5 years. And 2 weeks ago, France hosted the 4th Ministerial Conference on Feminist Foreign Policy. With some 15 countries, we share this engagement. It supports the achievement of a true gender equality, and this is an essential lever for sustainable development. One pillar of this policy is to foster the participation of women in all decision-making process. As some of you may know, a French law voted in 2022 called the Roxanne Law aimed at strengthening gender parity in company by setting gender targets for executive position. By next year, 1st of March 2026, the law imposed a minimum of 30% of women as well as men in executive position. And in 2029, this quota is to share up to 40%. 40 is not yet gender equality, but in the right direction. There is another reason why we need gender equality to enhance the nuclear industry. And this is the second perspective I would like to share with you. 2022, French President Emmanuel Macron announced a new program for the construction of 6 new large reactors, EPR2 type, and an ambitious innovation program for small nuclear reactor development. France is also planning the construction of new fuel cycle plant. This new nuclear program requires around 100,000 new jobs in the next 10 years, which means hiring 10,000 more people each year. It covers, obviously, a large diversity of jobs around power plant, research center, fuel cycle plant, and obviously the whole supply chain. In this context of a growing demand for jobs, we cannot afford to rely only on 50% of the workforces. We need all the workforces. And obviously, diversity of profile will also foster innovation and performance in our industry. To match the human needs that are tremendous for the development of our industry, I stated and I commented figures for France, but it's true worldwide. Obviously, we must take action now. And one lesson that we can take from the today's experience is that few women apply for job openings in our industry. We need to work on this issue and likely take different approach for that. For instance, thinking how we write job offers, change the mindset. We can also conduct specific training to empower and to promote achievable role models. Thank you all my female colleagues that are here today to be and to take action and being role model. At CEA, we have implemented a training dedicated to, let's say, make that women don't have the kind of self-censorship feeling. The program is called Daring. Please dare. And I'm really looking forward to all the new ideas and insights you will bring us in the panel discussion. We also have to look forward, well beyond the staffing of our team from the basis of today's workshop. We need to prepare the future by guiding young girls and women towards our profession from the school years. And here we have a lot to do. Because if we look at the statistics, at least in France, they indicate that girls start to fall behind in math already in elementary school. And I'm sure this is the case in Europe and maybe beyond European frontier as well. And women are less likely to choose nuclear science as well as scientific matters. And this is a true issue. I will end my introduction speech here, and I would like to share with you some conviction that gender equality will be beneficial for men and women. I am very pleased that in the panel discussion we will have also men to express their view on the subject. I'm truly convinced that it will improve the efficiency on our industry, and it will foster innovation capability, having more diversity in the approach and in the way of doing. And I'm truly convinced that it will play a key role in the revival or renaissance, you say what you would like to, of our industry. This agenda poses a stimulant and significant challenge, and I'm sure that we will have all to work on it. Now I will hand over to our fabulous panelists. They will discuss about the benefits of accelerating gender equality in more detail. I'm sure they will also share their experience, their own experience from the different initiatives that they have been able to implement in their careers or current job position. And obviously, I'm sure that they will have the opportunity to share their vision for the future. I wish all of us a fruitful and very insightful discussion. And after this workshop, for those who would like to have a more close discussion, please join the small room, as Séverine was commenting, when we can have a follow-up discussion. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Philippe, for your inspiring and insightful introduction. Now I would like to call upon our distinguished panelists to join me on the stage. Please join me in welcoming them. I'm delighted to welcome our board members. I would like to present. Yes. Non, ce sera tout. Juste ça. Merci. I would like to present Mr. Petra Lundström. You are graduated from the University of Technology of Helsinki in Finland. You have been working in the industry at Fortum, and you are currently the Executive Vice President of Nuclear Division and a member of Fortum leadership teams. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sandrine.
I would like to present Mrs. Roberta Ferri. You are graduated from the University of Pisa in Italy. You have been working in the industry as science for more than 30 years, and you are currently the head of the engineering teams. Thank you to be there. I would like to present Mrs. Alina Jozan. You have been working in international affairs for 25 years, and you had a key role in launching the EAEA Marie Skłodowska-Curie Fellowship Program. And last but not least, Mr. Nicolas Dorville. You are graduated from École Polytechnique in France with a PhD in space plasma. You have been working in R&D at CEA for 10 years, and you are currently the head of Thermal Hydraulic Service. Thank you all for being there. So, this subject of gender equality in the nuclear field, it's home for me, as I've spent more than 20 years. I have so many questions to ask to such an impressive panel. So let's start with the first question. To you, Petra. The general public widely agrees that Finland is ahead of the curve. When did you start addressing this issue? And what is your driving force to increasing the gender equality in your company?
Thank you for an interesting question. Yes, indeed, I'm from Finland, and actually women got the right to vote in Finland in 1906, which was the first country of Europe, basically. And also, right now, if we look at our parliament, 46% of the members of the parliament are women. But what I would say that is the by far most important driver to equality is the childcare, daycare system we have in place in the country, so that there is basically a subjective right to get good quality daycare, affordable daycare for every single child. And this is a huge driver of the fact that women can really work and make careers and so on. Then also, if we think about our company, we basically have policies for inclusivity. We have had them for a very long time already. And also basically inclusivity and the strive for diversity are really kind of embedded in our company values. However, the reality is that in nuclear generation, I took some statistics here, we have 20% of our people working are women, about the same share are managers. 40% of our new hires, 40% are women. So that gives me some hope, really, that things are changing. And then in my LT, half are women, and also in the executive leadership team of Fortum, 50% are women. So even though the starting point from the country perspective is great, there is still a lot of work to do in this important question. And to the driving force, I would say that for me it is very simple. We are from, Finland is a small country, Sweden is too, and we have a fairly limited labor markets, and there's absolutely no chance that we could leave half of the talent pool somehow out of the picture. We need to be able to recruit and have use the entire talent pool we have. This is really important. And then also myself, I have felt a little bit different my entire career, if I'm very honest. And for me personally, it's very important that everyone can come and contribute to work and feel valued and be part of the work community just the way they are.
Thank you, Petra, for your meaningful insights. In the nuclear field, your organization, the IAEA, Alina, is the first to reach the gender equality parity. I would like to ask you the same questions.
So, okay, so I'm talking from the perspective of an international organization, an agency within the UN family, but a very technical agency that it's dealing, of course, with nuclear-related issues, from the nuclear energy to safeguards, from the nuclear application for non-power to safety and security and so on. So I have to say that, of course, the discussion about, gender parity has been held for the last 2-3 decades for sure. Unfortunately, we got very good at reporting different things, but not so much for action. So what we've learned was when the administration has changed at the end of 2019, our current Director General, Mr. Rafael Grossi, he immediately sort of put in place a targeted approach to basically ameliorate the gender situation, to bring it to a parity. So what we've learned, in less than 6 years, about 5.5 years, was that we actually managed to see clear results from 32% in the professional category, because that's what we are counting in the professional category. The representation of women grew to 52%. So it's still as of today. What we've learned from all of it was that there are 3 main pillars, as we see, to make this happen. First of all, there is a need to commitment from the leadership. Without this commitment, you cannot do anything. There is also a need for a robust policy framework, and this is exactly what you are talking about. We had to put in place different, initiative from one hand, but from the other hand, alter our policies. For example, our maternity leave, for the birth parent, were increased from 20 weeks to 26 weeks. Parental leave for the non-birth parent, which we didn't have been established at 16 weeks. So all this is making policies to have a gender-attractive workplace. And obviously, targeted initiatives for developing women, for attracting women, and for retaining women. So I can't speak about it sort of endlessly, but perhaps I should give the floor to the others and then come back again. Because to that, I'd like to also mention that being a technical agency, we source our talents from the sector. But knowing that in the sector is also lacking women, we had to be creative to do something to also help the sector to then help ourselves. So I'll speak about it a bit later. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. That was a really enlightening answer. So let's move to a question for our team manager in the industry and in the R&D. In your opinion, Mr. Dorville, what are the benefits when managing a diverse team? And do you encounter strengths in acceptance? And what action do you take to support gender equality in the daily life?
Thank you. I share my experience as a manager, but I think the same insights can be for research teams or conception teams and all kinds of teams. For me, and I think it validates what you said about very proactive policies to ensure diversity. I think diversity is a valuable asset in itself. And so it's not just doubling the workforce. Of course, you double the workforce panel, but it's more than that. Because if you, as a manager with my team, I don't want to have only people like me, clones of myself. I think I'm much more efficient with 5, 6 other people who work with me for managing my service if they are different, so with diversity, because they can bring me contradiction, different ways to solve problems or to consider the problems. And so we have to assure that diversity exists in our organizations. And of course, if we are considering the first diversity we can introduce is, of course, women and men, because it's half of humanity in both cases. So yes, this is the biggest message. Diversity in itself is more valuable. And then, is there strength in acceptance? So in my organization, anyway, what I am saying here is quite shared, I think, with the management. Of course, Philip Storr gave the introductory speech, and what I can say is that there is no resistance in the management to diversity and gender equity. But for other people, maybe researchers, some do not share these values or do not have, the same culture, or there can be strength in acceptance directly in the teams. And so I had to work myself with some people to make them understand that society has changed and they have to participate to a more inclusive teams or environment, work environment. And also to complete the third part of the question, also what action do I take to support gender equality? First one is communicating a lot, and by saying and by doing, by exemplarity, and I will come back to this at the last question. And the other one is we have initiatives in CEA. One was cited by Philip Storr, another one is EGALID. This initiative is to tackle the problem at the source, in schools, so give role models to women, show in the schools, high schools, elementary schools, that women are scientists, can do science, and so it's women who are going in these schools and explaining what they do. And so I cannot participate because it's for women, it's reserved to women, of course, but I'm a sponsor of this organization, and I try to help as much as I can this organization to grow and act.
Thank you, Nicolas, for sharing your experience. I give the floor on the same question to Roberta Ferry.
Thank you, Severin. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, thank you. So the benefits of working in a diverse team are very big. The advantages, because different people takes different ideas, have different skills. They find different ways to reach the same objective. So this makes the environment exciting. So the work environment is not flat, but it is more interesting, and this makes the production higher. And that at the end is the goal of any company, of any research center. So a diverse team is a resource. Concerning the example of strength, actually I work in a small company, so we are 30 persons in total. But I can tell a story of what happened about 10 years ago. A course was organized, a training in our company, and it was a training on the safety of working machines in the shop. So it was kept in our company, and the course was ongoing, and I realized that all the technical staff was invited, engineers and technicians, with the exceptions of 2 engineers, female. So suddenly I wrote an email to all my superiors saying that I was really disappointed discovering that our company was having an example of gender discrimination. So they reacted. At the beginning, they denied. But then they thought about and called a lawyer, a female lawyer, which took the case in exam and then declared that it was a gender discrimination case. For the company, it was a lessons learned because after that, they reviewed the code of conduct of the company and they put a specific paragraph where they declared that no discrimination will be done in the company in the future. So I think this is a good example, but important. And concerning what I do to support the gender equality, actually our company is relatively small, but what I do, for example, coming here in this panel, it has been an interesting opportunity, and also I follow what women in nuclear do, and so nothing more, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberta. Time is really running fast, so I have another question for each of you, but the answer has to be really a quick one. Okay, so I would like to ask to Alina Jozan and Petra Nordström your opinion on what is the better solution to reach gender equality, and what about quotas?
Yeah. Okay. I think that we have to tackle this issue correctly. It's not just enough to give a few positions for a managerial or leadership position to women and say that we've done it. That's why, as I said before, we do have at the IAA 2 flagship projects dealing exactly with this issue. We are tackling this from the education. And I'm really sorry, I'm a bit depressed to hear that Philippe is saying that it would take 300 years before we reach this gender parity, but only tackling it correctly will be able to have some results. So we support through the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Fellowship Program, we support students, women students who decide to study master degree program in one of the nuclear field. We support them with the tuition fee, with the stipend, internship, and a huge global networking. We have another project that it's addressed to the earlier and mid-career women, because the statistics show that women usually tend to change the sector, so they leave the nuclear sector in their first 5 years. So what we do, we have these cohorts of women on a topic from the whole globe, and we take them on the study and scientific visits to one of our member states for 2-3 weeks. So this is all on our website. The application call is there. So I invite you to look it and to apply for these programs, because it's truly unique programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina.
Yes. To reflect on the same question, I would like to be able to say that no quota are not needed, but I have to be honest, I do agree with Philip Storr's introductory remarks that unfortunately the change towards better equality is going extremely slowly. And I do believe, unfortunately maybe, that quota and strong policies are needed in order to speed up this development, which I think is very important. Then maybe short remarks about the recruitment situations. I have recruited lots of people to our company. And one thing I really hope that we would encourage women to apply to interesting jobs, because it very often happens that when I'm interviewing a female candidate, she comes in and says that, you know, there were 10 requirements. I'm not fulfilling one of them. Can I still apply? I have never, during 35 years, met a man who came in with the same remark. They say, yes, you know, I'm okay, I can learn. You know, so really encourage talented women, competent women to apply. It's a very high bar there for many of us to actually even apply. And then now, during later years, also when we use external consultants, headhunters, and then we ask for the long lists of candidates, it's the same old, tired list of the expected names and very, very not diversified every time, to really challenge that process and say, hey, I need a different kind of list of candidates to start with. I want the female candidates here also. And then that will open up the thinking also.
Thank you for sharing and for your very significant response. So we are at the last question. I would like to ask a practical question to Roberta and Nicola. What are the benefits of gender equality in your daily life? But you kind of already respond to that. And did you experience evolve during your career on this issue?
Yes. Actually, I've been working at my company for 30 years, and the ratio between men and women is always the same, 20% women, 80% men in the technical area. So we would like actually to employ women, but no interviews occur because we don't receive curricula from women. That's the problem. So the problem is upstream. It's not in the actual company or research center, but is before, is in the school. We need to foster in the education. Yes.
So, one big subject for me on this subject is the equilibrium between your personal life and professional life, and the fact that we see that in most cases the difference in the careers, and this statistically correct anyway, arrive between women and men at the first child, when people have children. And this is because the society still considers that women play a certain role with the child and men another one. And I think this doesn't correspond to what people really want, especially in the young generations. And so if we correct this, so if we give examples that it's totally possible to have and even to invest in your personal life and in the workspace, it will bring a better quality of life also for men, not only for women. And so it will permit to have gender equality in jobs, because people will not consider that you cannot take some responsibilities or have some disponibility that men have, and also permit to men who don't recognize in what society says men must do at work, they can have also a career and different kinds of leadership.
Thank you, Nicola. In order to conclude this question session, I just would like to ask each panelist a takeaway sentence, and then we will go to the other room to have more chat with the audience. Nicola, you want to begin?
I can anyway. In the same spirit, so what I would like to say is that gender equality is a valuable asset in itself, and it benefits both men and women.
It's not just a necessity, it's a strategic imperative. So the fact that we're talking about it, it's that there is a huge problem.
So from me, girls take the opportunity to study scientific subjects, because the nuclear world and nuclear industry will open their door.
100% of the talent pool and competence.
Thank you all. Thank you to all the panelists. Thank you to the audience. We now go to the other room if you want to ask questions to the panelists. We can warm them